Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so excited because I have one of my most favorite people, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, in the world. Her name is Habaka. And I met Habaka when we were on the jazz cruise. And she was the main person on her and the band was the main person on the people on the cruise. And when I first met her, she was so personable. It was like I had known her for ages. She's such a sweetheart and so talented. So I want to say, Habeka, welcome to the program today.
Thank you so much. I am so glad to be here once again, and I
Yes.
appreciate you having me on the TV show with Win TV again out of Connecticut. I'm just so happy to be here, and I am so glad that we met. It seems like we have known each other forever.
I know, because it just was that click. And I want to do a proper introduction. It says, this week on Diversity in the Community, we welcome award-winning international blues, jazz, and gospel vocalist and newly published author Habaka KFJ as she shares her journey from the stage to the page in Voices of Care. Now that's a proper introduction. So my sister, tell us a little about yourself. Tell us a lot about yourself, not just a little. Yes.
Well, you know what? As you said, I'm Habaka KFJ. I'm an international blues, jazz, and gospel vocalist, and I'm known as the Panther of Cremona, Italy. And, music has always been my foundation and also storytelling through song, through feeling, and through truth. And
Right.
but recently, as you said, I have stepped into a new space and as a published author, and I'm so excited about it. And the book is entitled Voices of Care, which is compiled by Carl J. Powell.
Mm-hmm.
And this book, for me, this my story in the book was very, very deep and personal to me. And it's titled, the title of my chapter is I'm Not a Nurse. And so it's a story about caring for my father, who
Mm-hmm.
most people who know me as an artist and those who don't know me, but my father was an iconic jazz blues musician with B.B. King for more than 20 years. And also, um, taking care of him. The story is about him and taking care of him and what it taught me. It taught me love, strength, and what it really means to show up for someone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so this is who I am today, right now. And now I'm continuing my journey, my music journey, not only through music, but
Mm-hmm.
now it will be through storytelling in a whole new way.
Yes, yes. I have a question for you. Um, with your dad being such a well-known musician, and how how was his how did he feel with having to have his daughter take care of him? Because I went through the same thing of trying to take care of my. Yeah, how did what did it do for him to have?
That's a great question. And, in the beginning, he didn't want me to take care of him because in the beginning, he didn't feel like he had a problem, because I arrived not in the beginning stages, but I arrived when it was increasing. The
Mm-hmm.
symptoms were increasing. And
Mm-hmm.
so there were moments when he was very lucid, and then there were moments when he was not lucid at all. And so
Wow.
when he was lucid, he did not want me to take care of him. And then
Wow.
as time went on, when he really understood what was happening, then he was very glad that I was there. And that was really, I think for both of us, it was a challenge for both of us because we were both, well, he didn't know what was going on, and I was in denial
Okay.
of what was going on in the beginning because, like I said, when he was lucid, everything was normal and fine, and we could have a wonderful conversation. And but when he was not lucid, he did not remember the things, or you know, and also I will say this as to your question as well, he did become embarrassed
Okay.
about me taking care of him
Yeah.
as a caregiver because I was his daughter.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So he
So
did,
was it
he was happy
dementia?
about it, but he was embarrassed at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Was it dementia? Or
Yes.
oh,
Dementia
okay.
and Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Voices of Care is about. It's
Okay.
about a group of authors coming together to inspire people, to uplift people, and to
Mm-hmm.
talk about dementia and Alzheimer's and caregiving. Because
Yeah.
so many people, what we want the book to exude to everyone is we want everyone to know that they are not alone. You are
Yes.
not alone
Yes.
because with the research and listening, not many, it's a subject that people really don't discuss that much.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and a lot of people are quietly inside, living inside this moment and not knowing what to do, and they
Right.
feel like they're alone. Even
Yes.
if they have family members, they still feel as if they are alone because maybe the family members are not there. Maybe everyone is not there participating and helping. And like I said also before, maybe a lot of them are in denial,
Yes.
so you can feel like you are all by yourself and it's not a subject that's widely spoken about. And what I found out is dementia is
Mm.
it's not something that is learned.
Right.
It's not something that, it doesn't come with a manual.
Right. Yes.
It
Yes.
doesn't come with a manual, but what it does come with is the love that you are giving to the person that you're taking care of.
Right. 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 I know my mom suffered from dementia, Alzheimer's, and she was a sweet person before, and she was a sweet person after. I've heard of a lot of people who've had parents or whoever that had dementia, that their personality changed, and
And that
so
does happen sometimes. Yes, the
hmm
person's personality may change. Um, my father was pretty much a comedian the whole
hmm
time. And there were moments where he did become a little difficult, but it was only difficult in him joking with me, I think.
uh-huh
Because and if he did get out of character,
uh-huh
what I found with him, because it's different for everyone, but what I
yeah
found with him, if he did get out of character, he would actually remember that
okay
later, that he
hmm
came out of character with me, and he would apologize.
wow
And I found that to be very interesting because to me, that was saying that, oh, okay, well, maybe someone who's going through this, and in the moment that they're out of character, they know that they're out of character, but they can't
hmm
do anything about it.
right right
And but he was able to remember it, and he was sorry about it. And he said he was sorry that he uh mistreated me in any way, as far as,
Yeah.
talking to me,
Right.
down talking to me or whatever. And he would say, I'm so sorry, I would never do. One thing that I was impressed with, he told me he would never do anything to hurt me.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing I think for people is to go, if you have a parent or anybody that has dementia, is to go and be educated on it. Because there was a lot of things I know with me that my mom would say, and I would say, "Mom, I would be trying to explain to her, but I didn't understand it." And I happened to go to a class at one of the facilities, and when they began to explain stuff to me, then I understood where she was coming from. Yeah. So I think people,
That's
yeah,
another thing. You're absolutely right. It's
right.
like while I was in the beginning stages for me, that was the first thing that I did in my first week being with him, because I went online and did some research looking for some answers and what to do, because I had never really heard of the disease. And so I went online searching, and I took a course through the Alzheimer's Association,
Mm-hmm.
and they have an online course. And so I would take the course at night, and I became certified as a caregiver. And that
Okay.
way I was able to, like you said, understand the disease and understand what the person is going through and what to look for and how to react even to
Mm-hmm.
the person. Because if you react the wrong way, you can also trigger
Yeah.
another reaction from them too.
Yes. Yes. And they were saying too that if a person was a very like sweet and humble kind of person, most of the time they were going to remain like that. But if they were one of them people that were always going after people, that was going to get that was going to get worse. Because I know with my mom, she sees some people. Not that I'm talking about anybody, but she'll say, "Oh, tell people, oh, everybody was beautiful to her. Oh, you're so beautiful." And because she was a midwife, she would say, "Did I deliver you?" And I would say, "No, Ma, you didn't deliver that. You didn't deliver that lady. She almost as old as you." But she was funny. She loved to dance and all that kind of stuff. So she remained sweet. But a lot of people, their hearts are broken because some of their people have been sweethearts, but then they turn into a whole different person.
They turn into a whole different person, and you never know. That's the thing as well. You don't really know how it's going to affect them and their character, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And another thing I learned during that time as well through the course is that sometimes you can trigger them with a small thing, the way you're wearing your hair, or, maybe the clothes you have on that day might trigger something in them that they dislike, or it may trigger them into thinking you're somebody else
Right.
because of what you have on. And what I found is if you just go change your clothes, then it eliminates it. It was
Right.
really amazing, the interaction. And like I said, knowing when you know the what to do,
Mm-hmm. Right.
then it makes life a lot easier. So I am so glad to be a part of this book,
Mm-hmm.
because I believe it's going to help a lot of people. And because there's so many different stories from people from all walks of life, so all of the stories are different. And
Mm-hmm.
mine happens to be with my father, who was a musician all of
Mm-hmm.
his life. And also, I found out that also with Alzheimer's and dementia, they like, it's good to play music as well,
Yes.
because they like to hear the music. It makes them feel better. And
Mm-hmm.
now, him being a musician, what he didn't do, what changed with him is he didn't want to play his horn anymore. And he was
Really?
the type that would he studied for an hour every day. And
Wow.
but when he became ill, he did not want to practice anymore. He didn't want to pick up his horn anymore. He just kind of like, but he liked to hear music. If I put the music on, he'd be like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's that? Wait, wait, wait." But and I would say, "Daddy, you gonna practice today?" No, I don't want to practice. I'm not doing that today.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I just realized why he didn't want to, why it wasn't that he didn't like it. That was his livelihood. That was his life.
Hmm.
It was because he couldn't remember.
Wow.
He could not remember, but he never said that because that would be embarrassing for him to say that,
Wow.
right? So
Wow.
it really, after writing my chapter, all a lot of it triggered a lot of things for me too, being a part of this um um being a part of this book is
Yeah.
just it opened up more doors, it opened up more things for me to think about from that time. And I mine is a chapter, like everyone has a chapter. So, you know, you can only get so much in a chapter, but
Yeah.
the chapter that I wrote about, it was very concentrated. It opened up a lot of memories, and it's gonna be fabulous. And that's what writing that chapter made me realize why he didn't want to play his horn anymore.
Yeah.
After all these years, I was like, I just found that strange that he didn't want to play his horn, but it was because he couldn't remember.
Wow. 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 Um, how does, well, I know music connects to this because your father was a musician and you were a singer, your mother is a singer. Yeah. So that's all. Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. 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 So music was a big part of you guys' life.
Yes, and my grandfather was a musician as well. My grandmother was a dancer. It was definitely in my bloodline. I didn't have a choice. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and to be honest, um, I was really surprised. Well, I thought I would be, uh, I knew I was going to be an entertainer,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't think I was going to be a vocalist. So I knew I was going to be in the entertainment industry because I studied dancing as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to be a professional dancer. And so I knew I was going to be in the entertainment industry, but I thought I was going to be dancing and instead of becoming what I have become today, an international vocalist. But I'm very pleased, and you know, that's how the Lord saw it. So,
But
so that's the way it was.
you've won many awards. Could you tell me about well, I already know, but tell us tell the audience about the award you won with your singing.
Yes, I won the 2019 Best Female Jazz Performer here in Las Vegas
Mhm.
for the Black Music Awards. And
Wow.
I was totally shocked. I mean, I don't know how it all happened, to tell you the truth. When I found out about it, I was in Italy at the time, and actually, I was on my way back to the United States, and that's when I found out that I had been nominated, that I had been nominated for Las Vegas for the Best Jazz Performer, and then and I won, and I was just really, really shocked about the whole thing. I mean, I'm very grateful, and that's another thing, life. You just never know what's gonna happen in life, right? I mean,
Right, right.
I never even, I did, like I said, I wasn't looking for that. I didn't know. I don't know how it happened, but it did, and I'm glad it did. And I live in Las Vegas, which I never would have thought also. I never had any desires to live in Las Vegas.
But I mean, you grew up in Bloomfield. And you
I
ended
grew
up
up
in
in
Italy.
Bloomfield, Connecticut, and I lived in Italy 25 years.
Oh my God. And you speak the language fluently.
Speak Italian fluently, and as a matter of fact, I thought when I arrived there, I was very comfortable, and I was comfortable the whole time I was there. I felt like I felt like I must have been part Italian because I loved it there from the moment I went there. And as a child and growing up in my lifetime, I love Italian food. I mean, when I say love Italian food, I love Italian food. So my mother told me, well, you're going to fit right in because you love Italian food. And I do. I could eat Italian food every day. It doesn't matter to me. And so I fit right in, and the food was even better. It was even better than what we have here because, of course, authenticity, right? And I learned how to cook the Italian way, and it was just marvelous. And it was another part of my life that, another stepping stone. I think all of these stepping stones,
Hmm.
um, oddly enough, all of these stepping stones help me, will help me right now,
Hmm.
right now, even in becoming a published author.
Hmm.
I believe it's setting me up for something else because I have a lot to talk about.
Yes, you do. I
I
mean,
have a
really.
lot that I can talk about, and I have so many different experiences, that I've had in my lifetime and living in another country and all of that. And who would have thought that I would be part of a group of authors of this compilation of stories
Hmm.
about dementia and Alzheimer's. When I was living through it with my father and taking care of him as his caregiver, I certainly wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to write a book after this.
Right, 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 right.
I was not thinking that at all, or I'm going to write, be part of a group and write my story. Uh, that was far from my mind. And even when I was approached, I was very surprised, and it didn't take me long to think about it. I was like, yeah, I want to tell my story about my dad, because also me being an entertainer, and once I thought about it, I really haven't heard many stories spoken
Hmm.
about people in the entertainment industry who have
Right,
suffered with dementia and
right,
Alzheimer's.
right, right.
So, therefore, I said there again, it's going to be great. It will be a great tool for me to incorporate this in with my music and for my father's legacy
Yeah.
and connected to, and hopefully I can help a community also of musicians to understand what can happen, and what to be, and what they can do, and how they can get help. And so, you know, that's for me is everything in a nutshell. If I can just help one person, then I have done what I'm supposed to do by writing, by writing my story, if my story can help one person to see that they're not alone and it makes it easier for them to
Oh, yes.
understand,
Yes,
then
yes.
I have done what I was supposed to do. And really, that's really in a nutshell what my goal is that, I just want to be able to help someone out there, and then for everyone to know that
Yes,
they are not alone, and that there are other people out here who
yes,
know what they're going through, and
yes.
by them reading the stories, they will understand. And and they will know. And then they can share it with someone else, maybe that they know who's going through it.
Right, right. April 2nd. And how would we get the book? I mean, how do you?
And you'll be able to, I will be making a post about it. It will be launching April 2nd, and but it will be available on all platforms, Amazon, and all bookstores, your favorite bookstore. But of course, we will be urging everyone to purchase the book on that day that it launches. So I will make sure that you have the link.
Ah,
I
I,
will make sure you have the link.
yeah.
And but yeah, April the 2nd, everyone, you can go to Amazon under books and look for Voices of Care,
Okay.
compiled by Carl J. Powell. And I will have my own link that I can share
Okay.
with you where everyone can go and get the book, and then get the book and make a review too.
Oh, now how many authors did you say were a part of this book?
I believe there are 20.
20. Okay.
I believe there are 20. Yes. So it's a really, really good compilation of, it's a smorgasbord of stories,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
and that's what the book is all about. That's what the cover says, stories to inspire, to uplift.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says real stories. These are real stories from people who have actually lived through
Yeah.
the process of being a caregiver and what it means to be a caregiver. And it's, like I said, everyone's story is different. And mine happens to be about my father, who was a musician. And I'm a musician. And I think that, musicians need to be talking about it too,
Yes. Yes.
because
Yes.
when I thought about it, I was like, wow, I haven't really heard in the music industry people talking about, anyone that's been ill with Alzheimer's and dementia. And we know it's happening, and we know it
Oh,
has, well,
yes.
my father had it, so
Yeah.
we know that it is happening, but people find it a hard subject to discuss. I think people find it a hard subject to discuss because it is very hard, and it's very
Yes, it is.
is, and of course the person who's going through it, it's traumatic as well. It is traumatic, and but once again, like I said, if my story helps one caregiver, to feel less alone, then
Yes. Yes.
that is absolutely, that means it's already done its job, and because it is amazing how when you're living through that moment, even if you talk to someone and you actually find it's hard to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do talk about it, you feel like, well, the person I'm talking to, they don't really understand what I'm going through.
Yeah, but because a lot of people don't talk about it, when somebody does talk about it, it helps. You say, okay, I went through that
I'm
same.
saying now,
Yeah.
start talking about it. This is going to help other people to even learn about it, and where they can, and help those who are going through not feel so bad about,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, feeling bad that maybe they're not doing the right thing, or maybe, you know, uh, I don't know what I'm doing, feeling like, oh, I'm a disaster.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it right. Because, like I said, there is no manual
No,
for
there
this,
is
because
not.
it affects people differently. And so you really have to just, once you know about the disease,
Yes.
then yes, that will help you, but you still will be experiencing on hand, in live
Yes.
experiences that they can't teach you. That it's like being in any profession that you're a professional at.
Yeah.
you can teach it, but there are
Until
certain
you
things you can't teach because the person has
exactly.
to live it themselves. They
They
have
have
to
to live
go
it.
through it and see what you're going to do when you get
That's
when that
right. That's
happens
right.
to you. You know, I can tell you, but
Right. You're
you really
right.
don't know until
You're
it
right. You're
happens to
right.
you. You know, but having a tool to assist you, you can be like, oh, okay, I read this. You know, this lady said she was da 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 da, or
So
this
important.
woman was like, she said da, this man said he was going through this with his wife. And so I think it is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
I know it is. I know it is, and so important to have that information out there because there's things that people have questions about. They're either sometimes ashamed to ask other people, but when the information is just out there, that they can pick up a book, they can read it, and even when you talk about your dad, I have to tell a quick little something. My mom just loved; she absolutely loved music, and she would come into church. She remembered the church music. There would be a line of people in back of her trying to get into the church. And as soon as she heard the music, she would be bouncing and everybody and I would say, "Come on, mom, we gotta go." And then the people would say, "Don't leave her alone, leave her alone." And she'd bounce all the way to her seat. She didn't remember much, but she remembered that she loved music. And so she would bounce and dance all the way to the seat at church.
That is
So
beautiful.
you celebrate what they have.
Exactly. Whatever they
Exact.
can remember,
Whatever they can remember, you celebrate it. Yeah,
make it a
yeah.
big deal and make them feel like it is the best thing since sliced cheese, you
And
know.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I said sliced cheese because I love cheese, okay?
Yeah, 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 yeah. But
Cheese is important. Yeah. So,
yeah, so when you said that, it just sparked that about your father loving the music and stuff like that. So it's whatever you find that they have, I don't want to say left, but yeah, whatever they have left, you celebrate it.
yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
know.
And you know, because also um Alzheimer's dementia, what it really is that the brain is shrinking down
Mm-hmm.
to the size of a prune.
Wow, wow,
And so when
wow.
you think of the size of a prune, if your brain shrink, yeah, you can't remember anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's a process. And so that's why as time goes on, they are not they're remembering less and less and less because the brain is actually shriveling up to to be like the size of a prune. And my father made a statement to me, you know, he said, "Baby girl," he would call me baby girl, I might not remember nothing, but I'll never forget you."
Wow. Oh, that makes me want to cry. That makes me want to
That
cry.
right there touched me so
Oh my God.
much because I was like, wow. Now, he said that he would never, he said he couldn't remember nothing, but he said, but I will never forget you.
Wow.
And you know what?
Wow.
He did not. He didn't forget me.
Mm, mm, mm.
And like I told you, if he acted out of character, he would apologize to me the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Or he would be sitting at the table, you know, really quiet. And I'd be like, "What's wrong, Daddy?" And he would be like, "I just want to say I'm sorry." I'm
Wow.
like, "For what?" "For how I acted."
Mm, mm,
And he
mm,
said,
mm.
"But I can't control myself sometimes." And I
Yeah.
said, "I know, Daddy. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay."
It's
So also you have to make them feel at ease too,
yes.
because you know, you have to remember we are the caregiver,
Yeah.
but they are the ones living it. They are going
Yes.
through something I would imagine is extremely frightening,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
because in the
Yeah.
beginning, they don't really know what's going on. And I don't think, you know, the doctors don't really tell them what's going on
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the doctor tells the family member,
Mm-hmm.
but They didn't tell my father what was happening to him when I came to get him. And they didn't tell him that I was coming to get him. They didn't tell him what he had.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And as time was going on, he asked me, I want you to be straight with me and tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
So they don't the also, that's another thing too, is that the doctors don't tell the patient.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't tell the patient because maybe they think the patient won't remember in
Won't
two
remember.
minutes
Yeah.
what he said,
Yeah.
but still, there again, I'm just now thinking of that maybe they don't tell them because they
Yeah.
think the patient,
They,
but I think they should still
yeah.
converse and tell them
Yeah.
because when they're not, they are lucid in some points, and when they are
Yeah.
lucid, that's when they need to tell them what's going on. And I think it would be, because they don't know what's happening to them. All they know is they keep going in and out and they can't remember anything, or they find themselves, you know, in the bathroom and they don't know how to get out.
Yeah. 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 The toughest thing I think for me was my mom and I, like I said, was just like this. And I would go, and when she could not live with me anymore and she had to go to a facility, I'd walk in the door and she said, "You so pretty. Who are you?" And I said, "I'm your baby daughter." And she would say, "I don't know nothing about that." That was the toughest. But she was still that sweetheart. She was still that. She was just still a sweetheart. She said, "I don't know nothing about that," and I would be like, "Wow, yeah,
And you see, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly, but it affects people differently.
yep." So it's
You
like
didn't
you
know.
lose them twice.
My dad may not have known in the moment he was, in his
Yeah,
hysteria,
yeah,
but when he would be lucid, he would be like, I'm really sorry. I did something, but I
yeah,
couldn't control myself. I don't know why I can't control myself,
yeah,
but I was like, oh, and who, this is my first book.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think, I think the Lord prepared me for this because um, I was writing a story for about 3 years. I was writing once a month a story for vocals, for voices, voice care
Uh-huh.
in one of my friends' magazine. And so for 3 years, I wrote an article every month. And I was like, okay, so I mean, but I never, really talked about it. But I was thinking about that too the other day. I'm like, wow, okay, well, this prepared me
Yeah.
for to participate in this, and then, like I said, I mean, because of they are real stories,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy. It was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
We had to um, do our chapter, and yes, it was hard for the person going through again,
Mm-hmm.
reliving again
Yeah.
the story, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't hard to come up with a chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. It wasn't hard for them to come up with their chapter because there is so much to say, and
Yes.
to condense it all into one chapter,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that was the challenging part, and you choosing what part you wanted to talk about, that you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to concentrate on for your story. And that's how I came up with my title, that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a nurse, because like I said, caregiving doesn't come with a manual.
Right. Right. Right.
It
Right.
doesn't come with a manual, and they just throw everything at you and tell you, send you on your way. Okay, here's all the prescriptions, here's everything,
Yeah.
and um, it'll be okay. It's just like
Yeah.
you're like, wait a minute, hold on, I don't know, what's going on here, and so that's what my chapter is about not knowing what I was doing and becoming a nurse in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, becoming a nurse and giving shots and all that kind of thing. And I didn't go to school for that.
So people like you and others who like writing the book and all that to tell their stories is going to be so important to so many people. So I cannot wait until I get my hands on, one of the books. I can't wait until, when you said when it's going to be launched? April 2nd, right. I cannot wait because I know so many people who are going through what you and I have been through. So it's so important for them to read other people's stories because sometimes they feel like they're the only ones that's going through it. You know.
Of the book, the title of
Yeah,
the book,
yeah,
that inspiring real stories to inspire, to uplift,
yeah,
and to help people realize that they are not alone. And like you
exactly.
said, and like you said, there are so many people too, like so many people, and I'm sure, there are a ton of people out there who know someone
Yeah,
who's going through something. And a lot of times too, even if it's a friend and someone is going through something like that, you don't really know what to say to them,
exactly, exactly.
but if you can give them a book,
Yeah,
gift them a book, then that's helping them in more ways than they could ever thank you,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's saying also that you understand
Mm-hmm.
that they don't really know how to talk to you about it. Like you said, they don't really know what to say. And your friend doesn't know how to respond to you either,
Right, right,
except for to say, I'm so sorry,
right, right,
And
right.
because it really is, if anyone, when you think about all the sleepless nights, all the worrying that you go through, the heartbreak because it's your loved one,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
then yeah, it's and putting it on paper.
yeah.
Uh, everyone has a story. Everyone has a story,
Everyone has a
and
story.
and that's why I said, some people. It's not just, and also for me, this is a way for me continuing my legacy, to
Exactly.
continue my legacy, but
Mm-hmm.
just in a different voice. You
Yes, yes.
and it's still through my music, and it's still part of my lineage, and it's still, you know, and it will carry on. I think, I wanted to leave that imprint.
Oh,
I wanted
yes.
to leave that imprint that will carry on for.
Yeah, yes, yes. Yep, 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 yep. Well, I tell you, I really, really, really appreciate you coming on um Win TV because it's like I said, I went through it and at the time until I went to a class, I didn't understand what was going on with my mom. Um, but to have a book to come out to talk about it freely and how we can still laugh and talk even though we've gone through it, you know, it may help somebody when they're going through it to say, well, that person made it through. And, I guess it's possible I may be able to make it through too and still smile about it. I think about that.
To, like, even though it's a hard subject to talk about, but there are also funny moments.
There are funny, there are
Like
funny
you
moments.
said, when she get in the church,
Yep, she would just shout all the way down
she
the
ready to
aisle.
shout on in, and
Yep,
you like,
yep,
calm
yep,
down,
yep,
Mommy. They
yep,
like,
yep,
no, let her go,
yep.
So
So
there
it's
are funny
yeah,
moments where you can make it easier and make it less
exactly.
heavy,
Right.
because it is such a heavy thing to be a caregiver.
It
And
is.
I really am excited about Voices of Care.
I
I
am
really
too.
am excited, like you said, because I read the whole book,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the final draft, and it is just absolutely,
Well, I know I'm gonna get me one.
absolutely marvelous. It is so good,
I know
and
I'm
the
going.
stories are just so amazing, and and the very point that you made, that's what I liked about it too, because in all of the stories, there are moments where you can laugh. You know, they
Yeah.
tell something where it's funny and
Yeah.
it makes it a lot easier, a lot less heavy.
Right.
And like you said, and the person who's reading it, they're going to be able to have a moment to laugh and to really say, oh my God, yes, okay, thank you. Like you said, oh, relief. I
Yeah.
can talk. Somebody is talking and they know exactly what I'm going through, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm really over the moon, over the top about
Yeah.
the entire project. And when you're helping someone, that's the best part.
Yes. Yes.
That's, you know,
Yes.
that of everything. And so I'm doing something that's going to help
Gonna help
someone
somebody. Yes. Yes.
and so for me, that is my motto, and I'm sticking to it. It's, you know,
Well,
if
I
I
am
can help
certainly,
just one caregiver, just
yeah,
one,
I'm certainly
and
excited about the
I
book.
start.
Yes, I'm excited, and I hope our Win TV listeners are excited, and they know someone you can buy it for a gift, whatever, that you know somebody that's going through it, right? Um, and before we sign off, is there anything else that you may want to say before we go off?
You know, I just want to say that the reason that I participated in this in the beginning, anyway, like I said, is because of wanting to be able to share my story because we all have a story, number one.
Yes.
And then also to let people know that they are not alone and just to say, you know, what you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
anyone who is a caregiver, whatever you're going through,
Yeah.
your story matters too. And
It
this is a
matters.
part, as this story is not just our story, this story is also your story. And
Exactly.
so we did this as a means of saying that your story matters and where you can have a voice. And if you feel like someone doesn't understand you, just hand them the book. Just hand them the book.
Yeah.
Give them the book, gift it to them so they can understand it because before life is over, someone, everyone, I believe
Mm.
every single person is going to know someone who is a caregiver.
Yeah.
And being a caregiver is not easy. It
No.
is not an easy task to be a
No.
caregiver. And what I learned, my last words is what it taught me, because I am a blues and jazz and gospel vocalist. Like I said, I share through feeling, I share through storytelling, and I share through my life because the music, the songs is in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so what blues taught me is truth. And
Mm.
this is telling the truth.
Yes. Yes.
And um and it comes from the heart. You know, it's just something it teaches you in the
Mm-hmm.
moment really
Mm-hmm.
what love is.
Yes.
When
Yes.
you become
Yes.
a caregiver, you learn
Mm-hmm.
really what love is
Yes.
because you have to love the person with all your might, with all your heart
Yes. Yes.
to help them to get through. And
Yes.
so, may this book bless anyone who gets their
Yes.
hands on it. And by all means, when you get it, I will give the link to you, and I'm hopefully I can give you the link where you can put it below. And but I will pass the link to you where you can pass it on to others,
Yes.
and and let's help the world. Let's help everyone help someone. Each one
Yes.
teach one.
Yes. 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 So my sister, I do thank you for coming on. Um, you already know I love you, and again, from blues to books, the voice of care. I thank you so much, and I wish you and the other writers much success, because that's a project from the heart, a project that so many people need. I wish I'd have had it back then when I was going through it, but I'm thankful. I know. And so I appreciate you. I love you. As I said the other day, I was listening to you singing on one of the CDs, and I was like, oh my God, this girl is just fabulous. But I am so blessed to have you as a friend. I love you. Again, I wish you much, much success, all of you guys that wrote the book, because it's much needed. So did you have any last words, darling?
Well, let me see my final thoughts. Well, yeah, it's going to be the same. Anyone who feels overwhelmed with being a caregiver, just know that you are not alone.
Not alone. Right, right, right. Thank you, darling. Thank you. And to the Win TV audience, thank you guys for hanging in there with me since 2008, that I've been the host of this program. And I try to bring great information that's going to help somebody. So I hope you watch this, and I hope you share it, because a lot of times people tend to share things that are, crazy stuff. Share something that's good. Share something that's going to help somebody. So I thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to get your book, and make sure you look out for Habaka so you can even listen to her music, because she's a wonderful singer, wonderful friend. So thank you again, and thank you to the Win TV technicians and all those folks. And you guys have a good day, night, or whenever you watch this. And please share it. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Getting older, getting older, I don't care. I'm doing the same old things, but just a little better. Just a little bit better. It's getting harder. Getting harder, I know. Not in the way you may think. I can't jive, I can't think, but I can sing you a song. I can sing you a song, just a little better, just a little better. Doing the things I like, doing the things I like. It's getting harder. Getting harder, I know. Not in the way you may think. I can't jive, I can't think, but I can sing you a song. I can sing you a song, just a little better. things I like, doing the things I like, doing the things I like, doing the things I like.